Hi everybody, welcome to World Swamp. This is Fat Frog, and today we are in need of resources, so I thought I would share the locations of some of the resources here on the center map, and specifically we're going to be looking for Silica Pearls, Obsidian, and oil. So those are not all that common on the map, but there are certain locations where they're not actually too hard to find. So we're going to get on our Quetzal here, Big Bird, and we're going to go all over the map. So to start out with, I'll show you where my farm is here. Let's get this in the shade where it's a little easier to see. See, we're way over here on the eastern island. And this is my beautiful farm. And as far as metal, just real quick, I get all my metal from the hilltop up here. It's really convenient to get at. There's these metal nodes that respawn as well as crystal. So I just thought I'd show you that real quick. Okay, we're back at Batman Island, the Devil Island, Skull Island, whatever you want to call them. It is a really cool feature of the center map, and it's also a really great place to gather some resources. Mostly metal, crystal, and obsidian. Lots of obsidian. I think it might be the best place for obsidian. Now, you can get access to all of it with a flyer, but you can also get access to some of it if you take a raft out here, or if you swim, which would be pretty much guaranteed death with all the sharks and stuff around in this water. I suppose you could take a megalodon yourself and swim out here and do it. I have a raft out here, and the raft won't move anymore for some reason. But anyway, you can park your raft here. Hopefully yours doesn't glitch out, and then you can crawl up these rocks and through the teeth here and get access to all this metal and crystal. Now, metal and crystal is pretty easy to get at other locations, so I really wouldn't bother trying to get it here. But you can see these shiny black rocks are obsidian, and obsidian is hard to come by, and you don't really harvest a ton of it out of each of these rocks. I'm not going to stop and harvest it right now, but that's what you can get at from foot if you bring a raft or a fish or something to swim out here. Now, if you have a flyer, or maybe a grappling hook as well, you can get up onto this ledge, and this ledge is just loaded with obsidian and metal, just crazy amounts. So I suppose you could build a forge operation out here. Of course, you'd have to haul in wood or whatever else to power the forge, but anyway, you should just come out here and at least check out this really cool feature. I think it's the coolest feature on the center map. It's just from an artistic standpoint, basically. So yeah, come here for your obsidian for sure. Crystal and metal, maybe not so much, but as we get up to the top here, you can see it is just totally ringed with obsidian. You can definitely fill up, a Quetzal or an Argentavis here several times, before anything respawns. And there's some dangerous stuff over here. We've got some spiders, there's some bats, there's some centipedes, and sometimes there's what else do we have out here? Oh, Titan boas sometimes. So it can be a fairly dangerous place. It's not that bad though. It could be a lot worse. It's not like your average cave. Definitely not that bad, but it is a really cool graphical feature, and it's got more obsidian than you probably can ever deal with. Whoa, look at the Titan boa go! Oh, he is plummeting to his death. Look at all those sharks. Okay, so the next place we're going to go is one of those rivers. And I should show you just the map really quickly to show you where we are. So yeah, so we just moved from our eastern island, which isn't too far from here, over to Batman Island, which is right about where we are right now. You can see where it says me. And then we're going to move over to that central, actually I guess it's the southern river in that group of 3 big islands there. And that's where we're going to go find some silica pearls and some oil. And this thing's slow, so once again, we'll head over there, and then once we get to our location, we'll be back. Okay guys, we're back at the mouth of the river. There's the island where I live in the background. And here is the start of a deep pool, and this is where we're going to find some of our resources. As far as silica pearls are concerned, now you should be able to see some of them, the little oyster shells. If you look at my beak, there's a white blob there, there's one down there, and another there. I believe those are going to be our silica pearls that we're after right now. Now there's a lot of fish down there. Some are saber-tooth salmon, which aren't going to give us a problem as long as we leave them alone. But there's also a lot of mega piranha that are going to give us some trouble when we're in there. So we're going to have to clear those out the best we can. Now, if we had some sort of swimming dino with us, that would be great. So if we had a Sarco or let's see, a Spino or something like that to bring along, help clear out those mega piranha, that would be ideal. But we don't in this case because we're flying in. I suppose we could have carried something like a beaver or something with us. So here we go. Yeah, and I can see some of those pearls down there, and there's our oil node. So this is the other place to find oil on the map. So rather than trying to spear this idiot, we'll just shoot him. It's nice to be able to shoot right through the water. So there are 2 shots for a mega piranha, and I'm not dead yet. And I just need to look. I just need to look around the shore here to make sure there's nothing that's gonna kill me. What was that? Just shadows. Okay. So let's see again about getting into the water here. And oh yeah, I do have my flippers with me, so I'm gonna put those on, but I'm wearing full armor because of this mega piranha situation. So I'm looking around. That is a coelacanth, that's no problem. Right, so we're pretty safe right now. And I think with these flippers I can actually outrun piranhas or outswim them. So there's our pearls. Okay, we got some pearls there. I set all the resource harvesting to default just for the demonstration purposes here. Now I didn't bring my scuba tank, so I do have to worry about running out of oxygen, which I'm about to do. So okay, so I'm gonna grab some air. I'm gonna swim to the shore for a little safety. So I was able to grab a couple of pearls. Not that much with the resources being set to normal. I usually don't have it set that way, so I get a lot more is that a, no, that's a friendly. I get a lot more pearls normally. Oh, that wasn't a friendly. Alright. Alright, yes, what do we got here? Is that 100? So we're gonna shoot this guy. We don't want to get too far away from our bird because he's our protection. Alright, 3 shots for that 100 level mega piranha. So let's go get some oil now. There's another stupid mega piranha. Let's not get some oil. Let's kill mega piranha. Die, you stupid fish. Another level 100. We'll spear this guy. Alright. Got him taken care of. See, there's a ton of them in here, so it's pretty dangerous. But if you go slow and you prepared with armor and that sort of thing, you should be alright. So we're going to swoop in. We're going to get some oil. So we're just, like I said, we got our default harvesting rate set to 1. I usually have it cranked up to 3 so I can get more stuff. Okay, so now I got to get some air. How's my weight? My weight is just fine. We'll just hit on shore here to regroup. We're looking alright. Let's go into our inventory and drop the stone. We don't need to bring that. Don't need spoiled meat around. And I'm going to take a bite of meat myself. Oops. There we go. Alright, so we got 24 oil out of the 1 node, and we got 4 silica pearls out of a couple of oyster shells here. So let's go grab some more. I do have the resource spawn period set very low, so I can almost harvest this stuff all day if I really wanted to, which is a little, it's not cheaty, I would say, but it's makes life easier, that's for sure. Alright, so I'm all full of air again. I'm gonna make one more run for oil, and then we're gonna go look at some other places that have the resources we're looking for today. Okay, we've arrived here at the Volcanic Island, and we're going to head up over into the crater and look for some resources up here and see what we can find. Now, it is super hot up here, And I am overheating, but we can see some resources coming into view. So we have metal, once again, fairly easy to find in other places, just like the crystals down there. But up ahead, other than the T-Rex, we do have some small amounts of obsidian. So you can get some from up here. So it's be safer probably to go to the good old Batman Island. But than to try to walk up here or fly up here, because we have a nice wild male Rex looking for us. How you doing there, Rexy? Alright, and we got 2 more Rexes up here, so it's a very dangerous place. Just out of curiosity, let's see what level these guys are. We're not in the mood for even tangling with a level 4 today. We've got level 50 and a 115, so definitely don't want to mess with these guys. Or these ladies, as they may be, I'm not sure. So also on the Volcanic Island there are a couple of these little pools, and you can see down there are like right at my beak tip, those are oil nodes. And then we've also got a bunch of whitish things, and those are all Silica Pearl oyster shells. Now that's quite a lot of them, but if you also look at, on this particular day, we've got 2 spinos guarding it. There's a bunch of megapiranha down inside of it. And then there's always something nasty, you know, walking around the shore. Like we've got a carno over here, for instance. So this is not the greatest place to go. I mean, if you've got some friends to come with you, that's not so bad. I'm just kind of checking out the levels on these guys out of curiosity. 30, the other one was a 10, wasn't it? These couple of spinos. I'd like to get a spino at some point in my arc career here. And I can't see it, but it's telling me it's a level 20 and level 115. I like that 115. I tried a 150, but it got eaten by megalodons. Anyway, so lots of resources right there if you can somehow get them and survive, which I don't know if I could. But you can always do like this. You can pick up a carno and dump it off. The next place, the easiest place to get oil, perhaps, other than those deep pools, if you can get to it, and you're going to need a flyer to make it easy, is over here on the northern island. And by the way, just before I get too far away, let's just take a look at the map to see where we are. Over here up on my fingers is where we were. You can see on the map there are several pools up there to get those resources. So you can head over there and get those if you got the balls for it. But we're gonna head over to the Iceberg Island that's over here on the Arctic mountainy biome. And when we get there, we'll be back. Okay, we're back and we're heading towards this iceberg lake. Now this is probably, if you've got a flyer at least, the easiest way that I can see to get oil. Now you're going to be cold when you get here, but you can kind of get your oil and get out before you freeze to death if you don't have the proper fur armor, which I have switched to. You can also get a lot of oil up there, which isn't too bad, but you are going to get pretty cold and you might freeze by the time that you get back to where it's warm enough. So this one's really easy to find because we got the big obelisk here. We'll just take a quick look at the map, show you where we are, and we're glitching out with our our furred armor, but we are way over to the west, and you can see that lake clearly on the map. So really easy to find this one. So let's go down into the big iceberg is where the oil nodes are. There's also some metal over here, and there's plenty of penguins where you can beat those guys up and you can get organic polymer. So they're handy, and they also produce I think raw prime meat as well as prime meat, of course. But yeah, so now these oil nodes are coming into rendering distance here, and there's quite a few of them. So it's a pretty good place to get oil. Now, if you stay up here and you don't fall, which is something that I am known to do. So if you take it slow, you can get to these oil nodes in relative safety. Sometimes there are spinos down below, but they don't really go very far, so you might have to just ignore one or two oil nodes to not be killed by those guys. So we'll just run over here and we'll grab some oil. I'm not going to grab a ton, because I've already got a whole bunch of obsidian that I've collected. So here we've got an oil node and looks like 2 metal nodes. So we don't need metal from here because we have it pretty close to the farm. So we'll go ahead and grab some oil from this node. And then if there are penguins nearby, we could get some organic polymer too, but I don't really need some today. So I think I've seen megalodons down in here, but I often see spinos. So like sometimes there'll be a spino hanging out down there, and then I won't go down and get the resources that are down there, which I think in that case I'm usually after penguins and organic polymer. So I'll make trips up here. We're quite laggy for some reason. I'll make trips up here for organic polymer and oil quite often and get those materials. Now the way to get organic polymer, since we're here, is to get it from the penguins. And if I start beating this guy up, he's just going to swim away. So let's switch to the rifle here. Hey bud. And I miss at point blank range. I'm going to blame it on the leg. Now the best way to get polymer is to actually use a club, but the clubs break so fast that I don't really see much point in using them. So I only got 1 polymer there, so I usually will actually kill the birds with the spear and then just continue to harvest it that way. So that's my strategy, just because otherwise I've got to bring like 10 clubs, because a club pretty much breaks on every other penguin, and they're just kind of a pain to deal with, so I don't deal with them. So let's look around for a little danger over here. Looks pretty good. I've never spent any time in here swimming unless I fell in by accident, which I think I only did once, and I don't want to do again. And so we're gonna get another node harvested here, but we're starting to get burdened with stuff, so we're gonna call it good after this guy. I will go ahead and drop that stone though. Let's see, yep, there we go. Only got 1 polymer. I don't need extra meat, and the hide I'm all right on. Don't need that simple bullet blueprint. I did bring some trank arrows just because you never know. So I think that's gonna do it for this location. I don't really need to show you, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you get up on top of this mountain, there's oil up there, and again, just to look at the map, that's where we are. So if we continue, which in this case is just to the south, then we'll get those that oil that's up there. So I'm gonna head back. The other place that you can get oil and silica pearls is from trilobites, which are those little friendly crustaceans that are swimming around on the bottom of the ocean. You beat those guys up and you'll usually get a silica pearl or 2, and then maybe a couple of oil out of each one of those. So if you just need a couple of oil for something, that can be a pretty good option. But otherwise, you're not going to get tons of them unless you find a ton of trilobites, which don't always exist, and they're kind of hard to harvest too, because they're very well armored and it takes quite a few hits to get them. So yeah, if you need just a little bit, then that's a good way to get it. But otherwise, coming to these locations, the deep pools in the river, the iceberg lake over here for oil, those are all real good locations to get a bunch of oil. And yeah, so thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you found this helpful. I know it can be a little bit difficult at first to find some of these resources on the center map. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.